Hello everybody, welcome to this playthrough for Rookie Division with various type of wins for the Ventura Open Tournament. The video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, and when we're playing Rookie, we play from front tee, and all the courses you can find, or all the holes for the Santa Ventura, you can find on tour number 2. The West Coast. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also visit golfclashtommy.com for more Golf Clash related content. Become a master in this game by becoming a Patreon. Link to patreon.com/golfclashtommy, and the best guides on the market can be found in the description down below. Follow the info box on the right hand side. There you can find the elevation for the drive, for the second shot, and then also what type of ball and club that I do feel is going to be key for the specific hole shown. In the end, I'm very open to have questions. You can write questions in the comment section, or you can talk directly to us through our website, golfclashtommy.com. We do have a contact form there. Fill it in, send your question there. So in the end, this is going to be a fun tournament. Santa Ventura, we have played them all many times, and I hope this playthrough will help you get a head start and in for the Ventura Open Tournament. Good luck and enjoy the show. So we're going to start with the drive here, and you can see that I will be playing with a Marlin ball. But why do I then suggest a Quasar ball in the info box to the right? The reason I suggest a Quasar ball is that I do believe a Quasar ball will be better as it gives you more side spin. And the side spin there is going to be helpful with that curved fairway and going to make it easier for us. And then also, last but not least, we don't have to go with curl. Because curl obviously is something that we do use many of the times to stay away from, or not stay away, but to compensate for the less side spin that we're having. 2 to 3 bars of top spin, max side spin to the right, and we will get ourselves up to a position very close to the rough. Second shot here is going to be with a short iron, and after I've been playing the drive 10% over adjustment, we will not be playing 10% over adjustment for the second shot. We will use no elevation whatsoever. So the thing here is that we could go and play on the top right using backspin, trying to find the funnel. But here we are trying to go directly at the pin, but the problem with that shot is that it's a very glitchy ball guideline. So with that glitchy ball guideline, I would honestly recommend to try to not rely on it. Try to move and have your bounce first on the green, or go maybe for a dunk. You play the short iron that you feel most comfortable with, if it's a Thorn, Hornet, a Falcon, or maybe even the Runner. So let's take a look at hole number 2. We do play with a long iron here, playing from front tee. And I would strongly advise you to play with a long iron that gives you more backspin. At least 4 to 4.5 bar backspin would be the thing that I would like you to do. And therefore the Backbone will be a better suggested club than the Goliath, as Goliath in a low level does not have that much backspin. But if you do find yourself with only 3 bars backspin or less, or that you might, you might not even have the club that can give you more backspin, then you have to bounce before the fringe, bouncing up towards the pin. If you do have the backspin, you move up to the fringe for a more consistent landing area, and you adjust for a maximum distance with a 20% over adjustment. You notice that I do play with a basic ball there. Marlin would be better to reduce the wind, but also to have some side spin if we do have crosswind, to be able to compensate a little bit left or a little bit right, depending on obviously wind angle. So let's take a look at the drive, and here you can see that I play with extra mile and I do play with the sniper as the wood club, and I'm using a Marlin ball, but I would highly recommend to play with a Quasar here if you have the possibility. Reason is that using a Quasar, you have more side spin, and therefore you can push the ball more left and gain more distance towards the pin. If that's not a possibility, a Marlin is totally fine, and we go just straight down the middle here, using a 10% over adjustment with max distance numbers. And we're going to try to just get to around 310 yards, which is going to be the aiming point. And that's going to leave us up with a sniper towards the pin. And here I'm making it very simple. I'm not using any spin whatsoever. Second bounce to be just before the fringe in terms of how I'm, trying to adjust towards the pin. No elevation whatsoever for this shot, and obviously it depends. If you're in medium distance, you adjust medium distance. If you're in maximum distance, you adjust maximum distance. And if you're lucky and adjust properly, we're gonna see ourselves for a nice albatross. This is a par 5 with a very good chance making an albatross, and therefore gain an advantage over your opponent. So let's take a look, and we're playing with the backbone here. We will be playing with the long iron that gives us the most, that brings us to the most comfortable place possible. So it doesn't have to be the backbone, but I do personally feel that the backbone with its accuracy and a pretty decent ball guideline in lower level will be the club that we should be going to. Now I'm not using any topspin, any backspin, I'm only using the side spin. But with this type of wind, I would advise you to use at least half a bar of topspin here, because when bouncing from such a low point to a high point, the wind is going to affect the ball a little bit extra. 10% over adjustment, and we're playing minimum distance numbers. And you can see that we roll nicely there towards the pin, but we do need a little bit more to the right. So what can we do there? It's either that we move our target more to the right, or we use a little curl, or we change ball and use like a quasar ball instead that has side spin too. A lot of options. Tough par 3 to get consistent on, but I do believe, especially from front tee, bouncing there in the middle will be the best way to play. Hole number 5 is going to be a tough par 5, especially when it comes to underdeveloped clubs. It's very important, in my opinion, that we do play with a power 3 ball. Not so much for the drive, because you could notice here that we will still reach even with a less powered ball. And here we can do two ways. We can either go directly over the water and land on the other side, or we bounce on the fairway over the water, as you will see in this example. We will be adjusting here for a medium distance with a 10% over adjustment, and we're using as much side spin to the left possible, and we're also using 4.5 bar topspin. Last but not least, we're using half a ball of curl to the left. Just keep ourselves as close to the rough line possible. You might thinking, why do we go so short? Why don't we push it harder? You see the trees that we do have on the right side here, and that is the problem for us. The trees there on the side will be in play if we go too much to the right. Now for the second shot, now the power 3 ball comes very handy. Max side spin to the right, and you can see that I'm not using any topspin, any backspin, but I would honestly go with 1 bar of topspin here instead. The thing that you don't want for your second shot is to go short. If you go short on green, then you will not reach with your putter. So that is a very important lesson on this hole. So rather go long than try to be the hero and do that absolute beautiful shot and go short. See, we're coming in a little bit too short, but in the end, I'll take an easy eagle here all day and every day, because in my opinion, going directly at the pin is going to be very difficult, and therefore the albatross will be very rare. So on hole number 6, we are playing for green, a power 3 ball minimum, and I say it again, minimum. So if you are able to play with a power 4 or a power 5 ball, I would advise you to actually do that instead. That would take away the need of having to push up our target into max if we're playing with a different type of power ball. But let's say we play with a power 3 ball, which will be the general thing to do, to go then with 2.5 bar backspin, and as much side spin to the right possible. Power on your driver is extremely important, and that's why I play with the extra mile instead of using an quarterback, as will be a more accurate club and also have more backspin. Adjust for maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment, and then we do go with half a ball of curl, and the plan here is obviously to bounce on the fairway and then over to the green. More backspin will make the ball stop on green, and you can see that it slopes downhill there from the start of the green, and now we are honestly pretty lucky to stay away from the bunker. But you will have to have that in mind if you play from front tee and you do have underdeveloped clubs or lower level clubs. You will have a problem to get that ball to stop in time some of the times. But even if we would be rolling into the bunker, this would be like the bunker shot would be a way better opportunity for an eagle than we would be laying up on the right hand side or trying to go through the tree and get stuck behind a tree. Let's take a look at this par 3, and here you can see a pretty old recording here, and we are going to play with 3 bars of backspin with a Goliath, backbone level 4. Here you can see that we are in complete maximum distance, and that could be, you're playing with a power 0 ball, could definitely be a possibility when it comes to having a crosswind or a tailwind. But if we do have any form of headwind component, we do need a little bit more distance, and then I would advise you to play with a navigator ball. It will reduce the wind, it will give you more distance, it also will give you a little bit side spin if you need to. You can see that I stretched out and adjust from overpower, and that's never something we do want to do on a par 3. Maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment. We bounce on the island there and roll towards the pin. You can see how much it slopes there on the left side of the green. Do not hit that spot. Like, make sure that you do adjust properly, because if you do get down there, now our opponent has a wedge. But if you would be there for a putt, you will not reach with your putter because it's too much uphill, and therefore, you know, stay on the right hand side. So let's take a look at hole number 8, which is going to be a tough par 4. Here you see that I'm playing with a power 3 ball. It's not really necessary with a power 3 ball in tailwind or crosswind, but as there is so many things that can happen here trying to play on this fairway to the right, then I would say if we clip the rough and roll out, a Titan ball would be good. If we do make a very short drive and we misjudge the distance, a Titan ball will be good. So I think in the end, if you can spend a power 3 ball, that's going to be the best. But you should be able to survive with a power 1 or even a power 2 ball. Maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment. We use a right spin here as the fairway slopes to the left, and we get ourselves up there to the top fairway. The thing that we do need to have in mind here, ladies and gentlemen, is like we can play out to the left, but that will take away the eagle possibility to 100%. Or like to 99.9% and to not be too negative. But we can play left, you can take the birdie, but if you do want to have a chance for the eagle in a good way, we play right side, we play a little aggressive drive, and then we can rely on yardage notes and then dial this one in from distance. 1.5 bar backspin, I would say 2 bars backspin here with tailwind. We need to think about the fact that the ball is going to be affected a little bit more by the wind, like meaning that the second bounce will be a little bit longer when it comes to tailwind due to the extended ball guideline. 10% over adjustment for the second shot. Unfortunately, we do hit great right, and therefore we miss on the right hand side. Tough par 4, but definitely a makeable eagle. So let's take a look at hole number 9, and here, if you do have a quarterback, I would honestly advise you to play with that one, even though it doesn't give us distance, but it does give us curl. And curl here is going to be very valuable, trying to get this ball up to the top left corner. We need to have in mind as well that we do need to use 4 bars of topspin. Now I'm only using 3 bars of topspin. 4 bars of topspin would be what I want to have, because the fairway on the top left is uphill. So even if it looks like we're gonna go too far, that's not gonna be the case. You see, even with a lower level quarterback, we do have 1.5 ball curl, and that is going to be, again, very valuable. Adjust for maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment, and then go with, 1.5 ball curl left. Second shot, we're going to play with the big dog, and the big dog is needed because of its distance. So we're going to play with backspin here with the big dog, trying to just get this ball to the green. And have in mind that there is a big risk of you going short with your drive, and therefore the big dog is also going to be the club to go with. The trees to the right, you could see it cut off the ball guideline. That is going to be in play, so have that in mind. So we do need to curl around the trees here. And also one thing to really have in mind, we're playing this one fairly a lot uphill here. And therefore we need to reduce the adjustment with minus 10%. So an under adjustment of 10% is needed. We play this one for green, we don't play this one for pin, because playing it for pin will most likely make you mess up more than it's going to help you. I would say that I would easily say we will see less albatrosses than we albatrosses here than what we do see pars, to be honest. So this is a very tough par 5. Treat it carefully, take the eagle and be happy with it. Thank you so much everybody for watching this playthrough for Rookie Division for the Ventura Open Tournament. A full 9 of the Santa Ventura, which you can all find on tour number 2, the West Coast. Don't forget to get the guides on patreon.com/golf-tommy, link in the description down below. Also join our Discord where you can chat and interact directly with me and all our followers. Their link to Discord is also in the description down below. Video sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. Thank you so much for watching and good luck in your Golf Clash game.